Good evening.
The place needs to be
You ready?
No, I'm not. Hold on. Go ahead.
Good evening. Happy New Year. This is Tuesday, January 3rd at 7 p.m. for the Planning Commission. We will start with opening prayer by Jack Young, followed by Pledge of Allegiance. If you will please stand.
You pray with me, please. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, this opportunity to gather here and do the city's work. God, I pray that you'll give us a 2023 that will be even better than any year we've ever seen here in this city. God, I thank you for the many blessings that you give us. I pray that you be with those that are sick in our community. That, Lord, I pray that you just continue to protect those who place themselves in harm's way for our benefit. And I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Has everyone had a chance to look over the minutes from December 5th meeting? And if so, do we have an approval?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Melissa, will you call roll, please?
Curtis Sigler.
Here. Yes.
Jack Young.
Yes.
Mandy Young.
Yes.
Casper Briggs.
Yes.
John Conroy. Jay Kaufman.
Yes.
David Hunt.
Yes.
Paul Kaiser.
Yes.
Jim Lamb.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, we'll start with the construction plan for Union Depot, Phase 1B. Director Kim, if you'll come up and tell us about that, please.
The applicant, Mr. William Sawtell, with Parker Estes and Associates, on behalf of the developer, Keith Grant, is requesting Planning Commission approval of construction plans for Phase 1B of the Union Depot Residential Mixed Unit Plan Development. This particular area of the development is for flats, or what is also called apartments. The development will be located on the former Tennessee Baptist Children's Home property, a 73.9 acre site on Highway 70, just north of the intersection of U.S. Highway 64 and U.S. Highway 70. The property is currently zoned both residential single-family RS10 and OR1 neighborhood office. In December of 2021, the Board of Mayor and Aldermen approved the special use permit to allow this development to move forward. On June 2022, the master plan for the entire development was approved by the Planning Commission, which included 622 housing units, along with 6.6 acres of commercial, as well as a mixed-use building on 2.9 acres of the property. On September 22, 2022, the Planning Commission approved construction plans for Phase 1, which would allow the entrance loop streets to be constructed. This current request is for the approval of construction plans for Phase 1B of the development, which includes grading and drainage plans, stormwater detention plans, sediment and erosion control plans, sanitary sewer plans, including a surge tank and diversion structure, plan and profile street plans for Highway 70, and a traffic control plan for Highway 70. Staff has been working with the applicant developer over the past 3 months, and we recommend approval with the conditions as stated in your staff report. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Any questions for the Director? Thank you. Is the applicant present? And if so, if you'll come forward and state your name and address for the record.
I'm William Sawtell, Parker Estes and Associates, 3460 Ridge Meadow Parkway, Memphis, Tennessee.
Have you read everything, and are you okay with everything?
We've been in discussion with the engineering and planning staff, so.
Okay. All right. Any questions for the applicant? All right, do we have a motion?
If there are no questions, I move we approve of the recommendations from staff.
Second.
Jim Lamb,
Yes.
Jack Young,
Yes.
Jay Kaufman,
Yes.
Curtis Sigler,
Yes.
Mandy Young,
Yes.
Casper Briggs,
Yes.
David Hunt,
Yes.
Paul Kaiser.
Yes.
Thank you. It has been approved by the Planning Commission. All right. Our construction plan number 2 is Union Depot Phase 2A, and we'll hear from Director Kim on that.
Again, the applicant, Mr. William Sawtell, on behalf of the developer, Keith Grant, is requesting Planning Commission approval for construction plans for Phase 2A of the Union Depot Residential Mixed Unit Development, which this particular portion of the project is for the area where townhomes will be located. The specific request for Phase 2A for construction plan approval will include 4.8 acre portion of the property, and it will be subdivided into 48 residential townhome lots. The lots will range in size from 1,786 square feet to 5,700 square feet. The construction plan includes shared detention with Phase 1A of the development, grading and drainage plans, sediment control plan, sanitary sewer plan, erosion control plan, and plan and profile street plans. Staff has worked with the developer on this project, and we recommend approval with the conditions as listed in your report.
Thank you, Director. Any questions for Director Kim?
I got one question, Kim. Did you say these townhomes were going to range from 1,786 square feet to 5,700 square
That's
feet?
the lot size.
Oh, okay, I'm
So
sorry.
basically zero lot
I was
line,
going to
but
say,
the
man,
lot
that's
size
a big townhome. I want to say. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Director.
We're not covered.
Thank you, Director. Is the applicant present? And if so, if you'll come forward and state your name and address for the record, please. You'll be doing this a lot tonight. Sorry.
William Sawtell with Parker Estes and Associates, 3460 Ridge Meadow Parkway, Memphis, Tennessee.
Have you read all the recommendations
We
from, and you're in line with everything?
We are.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant? All right. If there are no questions, do we have a motion?
Move we approve.
Second.
Jack Young,
Yes.
Mandy Young,
Yes.
Paul Kaiser,
Yes.
Jay Kaufman,
Yes.
David Hunt,
Yes.
Curtis Sigler,
Yes.
Casper Briggs,
Yes.
Jim Lamb.
Yes.
Thank you. It has been approved by the Planning Commission, and we'll give you a break for a second, too. All right, we're going to move to final plan for Nike Carter Property Subdivision, 4790 Chatillon Road. Director Kim?
The applicant, Lance Lanier, on behalf of the property owner, Nike Carter, is requesting Planning Commission approval of a final plan for a minor 2-lot subdivision for the Nike Carter subdivision. This property is located on Chatillon Road, just north of Guy Road, and it is within the RS-15 residential single-family zoning district. The subject property is currently a 1-acre lot that the applicant intends to subdivide into 2 lots, with both lots being 0.47 acres in size and a remaining 0.51 acres that will be dedicated to the Chatillon Road right-of-way. The applicant will need to obtain a variance from the Board of Zoning Appeals for lot width. The RS-15 zoning district requires a minimum lot width at the road of 100 feet per lot. Also, the applicant will need to move the side property line where the existing house is located or seek an additional variance if the house is to remain within that side yard setback.
Yeah.
The applicant, I believe, has told staff that they do intend on erasing that middle property line and just having 1 lot to build a home there. So with that being said, staff recommends, we recommend approval of this minor two-lot subdivision for Nike Carter with the contingency that the required variances are obtained from the Board of Zoning Appeals. Thank you.
Any questions for Director Kim?
I just want to clarify one thing. I know you said there at the end that, are they anticipating then joining the two lots back together?
That is what they have told staff.
Indicated.
Yes, but we were anticipating getting a revised drawing before this meeting.
Right.
But we did not get that one. So they should have that revised drawing for the Board of Zoning Appeals application.
So if they do get those approvals, they don't necessarily have to combine the lots back together
Correct.
into one?
Correct.
If they don't want
They
to.
could have two lots.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Any other questions for Director Kim? All right, thank you, Director. Is the applicant present? And if so, could you please come forward and state your name and address for the record?
Hi, my name is Nike Carter. My address is 4790 Shadowlawn Road, Bartlett, Tennessee 38135.
Okay, have you read over all the recommendations from our staff?
Yes, I have.
And you're okay with everything?
Yes.
Okay, any questions for our applicant?
So I'll just ask you as well, are you still planning on combining the lots into one
Yes.
after you go through the other meetings? Okay.
Yes, sir. I think
Are you-
we've already paid for the other meeting.
Okay.
And so we are planning to do that, anticipation that we will be able to build soon on
Okay.
that property.
Okay. Will the existing resident come down?
Yes, it
Okay.
has to be. We kind of did things backwards. We've already talked to a builder and everything, so it's going to have to come down.
Okay.
And we're needing this in order to make that happen.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Ma'am, hold on. No, you're fine. I don't know if there's any other questions,
Okay.
that's why. Any other questions for the applicant?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
You're good, thank you.
David Hunt,
Yes.
Paul Kaiser,
Yes.
Jay Kaufman,
Yes.
Curtis Ziegler,
Yes.
Jim Lamb,
Yes.
Jack Young,
Yes.
Mandy Young,
Yes,
Casper Briggs.
Yes.
thank you. It has been approved by the Planning Commission. All right, we'll go to number 4, Union Depot Phase 1. Director Kim?
Again, the applicant, Mr. William Sawtell, on behalf of the developer, Keith Grant, is requesting Planning Commission approval of a final plan for Phase 1 of the Union Depot residential mixed-use development, which again is for the apartment area of the 73.9-acre site. The property is located at 6896 Highway 70, and it is the former location of the Tennessee Baptist Children's Home. It is located within the RS10 residential single family and the OR1 neighborhood office zoning district. The specific request by the applicant is for the approval of the final plan for the Union Depot residential mixed-use development Phase 1. This final plan will combine both phases 1A and 1B into the one final Phase 1, so that the final plan will be recorded as Phase 1 on the master plan. For the final plan. Staff has worked with the applicant over the past 3 months and recommends approval with the conditions as listed in your staff report.
All right, any questions for Director Kim? All right, thank you, Director. Is the applicant present? And if so, could you please come forward and state your name and address for the record, please?
I'm William Sawtell with Parker Estes and Associates, 3460 Ridge Meadow Parkway, Memphis, Tennessee.
Thank you. Any questions for the, did you have a chance to read over everything and are you in
We
agreement? Okay, thank you. Any questions for the applicant? All right, if there are no questions, do we have a motion?
Make a motion we approve based on the conditions of staff.
Second.
Mandy Young,
Yes.
Jim Lamb,
Yes.
Casper Briggs,
Yes.
Jack Young,
Yes.
Jay Kaufman,
Yes.
Curtis Sigler,
Yes.
Paul Kaiser,
Yes.
David Hunt.
Yes.
Thank you. Your plan has been approved by the Planning Commission. All right, Director Kim will go over number 5, Union Depot, Phase 2A.
This is Union Depot night.
Yes.
Again, the applicant, Mr. William Sawtell, on behalf of the developer, Keith Grant, is requesting Planning Commission approval for final plan approval of Phase 2A of the Union Depot residential mixed-unit development, which is the area for the townhomes. Again, the property is located at 6896 Highway 70, and it is the former location of the Tennessee Baptist Children's Home. The property is also located within the RS10 residential single-family zoning and the OR1 neighborhood office zoning districts. The specific request by the applicant is approval of this final plan for Phase 2A. The final plan will subdivide 4.5 acres of land into 48 residential townhome lots, ranging from 1,786 square feet to 5,700 square feet. Access to the townhomes will be via Union Depot Drive and Talcott Lane via US Highway 70. Again, staff has been working with the developer on this application and recommends approval with the conditions as stated in your staff report.
Thank you. Any questions for Director Kim? All right, thank you, Director. Is the applicant present? And if so, would you please come forward and state your name and address for the record?
William Sawtell with Parker Estes and Associates, 3460 Ridge Meadow Parkway, Memphis, Tennessee.
Have you had a chance to read over all the conditions? And
We have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the applicant? All right, do we have a motion then?
Move we approve with the recommendations from staff.
Second.
Jack Young,
Yes.
Curtis Sigler,
Yes.
Jay Kaufman,
Yes.
Casper Briggs,
Yes.
David Hunt,
Yes.
Mandy Young,
Yes.
Paul Kaiser,
Yes.
Jim Lamb.
Yes.
Thank you. It has been approved by the Planning Commission. All right, and the last is our site plan, number 6, Union Depot, Phase 1B. Director Kim, thank you.
Again, the applicant, Mr. William Sawtell, on behalf of the developer, Keith Grant, is requesting Planning Commission site plan approval for Phase 1B of the Union Depot residential mixed unit development. And this again is for the area of the development for apartments. The property again is located at 6896 Highway 70, and it is the former location of the Tennessee Baptist Children's Home property. The property is also located within the RS10 and the OR1 neighborhood office zoning district. The Planning Commission approved the construction plans for Phase 1A in September of 2022. The specific request by the applicant is for the approval of the site plan for the Union Depot residential mixed-use plan development for the apartments, also known as the Westerly, which will be located on 13.269 acres of the 73.9 acre property. The proposed site plan includes multi-family buildings, an office clubhouse building, dumpster trash compactor enclosure area, vehicle charging station locations, a pool area with covered porches, cabanas, and grilling area. Access to the apartments will be from Union Depot Drive and Talcott Lane with connections to US Highway 70. More details are included in your site data table that is located within your report. Staff has worked with the developer on this project and recommend approval with the conditions as stated in your reports.
Thank you, Director. Any questions for Director Kim? All right, thank you. Is the applicant present? And if so, will you please come forward and state your name and address for the record?
William Sawtell, Parker Estes and Associates, 3460 Ridge Meadow Parkway, Memphis, Tennessee.
And have you read over all the...
We have.
Thank you. All right, are there any questions for the...
How soon, and this is for the public, and this is probably an impossible question to answer, which you're just a man for that. How soon will the public be able to see something coming out of the ground? I mean, right now, you see lots of, well, you deferred.
He's got the schedules.
I think the public is going to be more comfortable when they see something happen besides dirt moving and calling it the new Grand Canyon. So, impossible.
I'm Keith Grant with Grant & Company, 177 Crescent Drive in Collierville. Our plan is to start a lot of the site work probably in April or May, which is starting to put in these huge holding tanks. Those tanks are going to probably start going in July, actually, but you'll see the streets and stuff start going in through the springtime. I think vertical construction will probably start August, September timeline.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. I got a question that I'm confused. In the site data, it says the total proposed garage parking is 128 spaces. I didn't know there was a garage.
Each unit. The half of the first floor of each building is garages.
I got you. Okay. No, that's what I thought.
Don't go anywhere, sir. You didn't get asked any questions. There's more questions.
Can I ask one question? You gave it away.
I've got a question on the sanitary sewer plan.
Yes,
it looks like we've got 10-inch mains coming into the holding tanks and an 8-inch coming out. So, typically, I guess my comment here is that you wouldn't decrease the line in the direction of flow.
The purpose of these holding tanks is to reduce the peak flow, so it's a lot like a stormwater detention basin, so that you would have a big pipe coming in to carry everything. The 8-inch out will actually go to a pump station, so it'll be pumped, and that'll actually control your flow. But we're reducing the flow coming in from. We're picking up from Freddy's on Highway 64, which is a 10-inch main, and then pumping back out.
Pumping into
but it's more like a stormwater detention basin than it is anything we're used to seeing. What you're used to seeing on sewers now in the Fletcher Creek Basin is holding 100% of the 24-hour flow. These basins are only going to be receiving stormwater overflow from the sanitary sewers. So there's what they call surge tanks. They're not just standard holding tanks.
I want to give you a little further clarification on that. This has been a learning process for me too. In this is that what you're doing is the main problem with the sewers in Memphis and even what's going into it here. It's infiltration. You got stormwater that like today's rain event. Okay, most people don't realize stormwater will infiltrate their sanitary sewer systems. And that's what's happening and creating a lot of the problems in the city of Memphis right now. It actually happens even in Bartlett and a lot of the sewers that you have around here. You have an infiltration problem, which you just have over time. There's some infiltration from rainwater into the sewer system. What this mechanism does that the city of Memphis came up with is that Will has designed a weir in your current system that when it receives a certain amount of flow, an overflow from the rain events, it actually diverts it and kicks it onto our property. And so when it does that, we're storing that in what's going to be 11-foot diameter holding tanks buried pretty deep in the ground, but it holds 590,000 gallons of water. And so it's catching the discharge of it. And so then what happens is it sits there, and then they have a lift station outside of it that, based on the timing that's prepared by Barge Wagner, the city's contracted engineer to handle this, and Will working together with him, that'll send that back out into the system when it can handle it at regulated times over time. So does that clarify that some and how it works?
Yeah, it does. I just, maybe I'll defer to John to answer the question, but just make sure that, we had a 10-inch size there at some point, and now we're going back to an 8. So I just want to make sure that's okay with you guys.
Casper, this This is being modeled. Will's doing all the design work, but Barge Design Solutions is doing all the sewer modeling for us, and so this is going to be pumped through force main back into our system, which goes into Memphis, and so it's all going to be modeled and sized correctly. So it's not a problem with those line sizes you're seeing.
I'm comfortable.
But it's going to come in a lot faster than it needs to go out. It's going to come in less than 24 hours and go out over 3 days. Okay. And also being pumped out, gravity flow is a lot easier mechanically, but it takes a larger pipe for gravity flow than it does for a lift station pump.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Certainly a pressurized pipe can flow more water, smaller diameter if it's pressurized. Okay. Yeah, as long as the city's comfortable with that, I just wanted to point it out. I'm good. No additional comments on that item.
Any other questions for the applicant? All right. If there are no questions, do we have a motion?
I'd move we approve with the recommendation from staff.
Second.
Curtis Sigler,
Yes.
Casper Briggs,
Yes.
Jack Young,
Yes.
Jim Lamb,
Yes.
Mandy Young,
Yes.
Jay Kaufman,
Yes.
Paul Kaiser,
Yes.
David Hunt.
Yes.
It has been approved by the Planning Commission. Thank you. All right, that concludes all our plans for tonight. Is there any discussion from the Planning Commission? All right, seeing as there is none, we will adjourn. Thank y'all.